I was at the hospital, and I want to share with you some things that I learned that I think will help you with your life. So let me give you the backstory. It was December 31st, about 10 hours till New Year's. My dad went to the grocery store to do a little shopping for food, and before I knew it, we were at the hospital. What happened is he had collapsed on the floor and cracked his head, literally cracked his head. The size of the crack, because he just collapsed, was the size of a big grapefruit juice. And the reason was that his heart stopped working and it didn't allow oxygen to hit his brain, so everything just shut down and he just collapsed. And so anyways, this has been an ongoing process for him for a couple of years with heart problems. But what I want to share with you from this episode that I think that you'll take value out of is, number one, that make sure you do stuff you love. Okay, do stuff you love, and that comes in two tokens, in my opinion. Number one is that make sure you're hanging out with people that you really enjoy. For example, if you have kids, make sure you're putting time into your kids. Like for me, I put my time into my kids. I don't watch TV. I take my kids to the park every day, not because I'm special, is that I realized that accumulation and material things are just a shenami, just a sales pitch that's been pulled over our eyes to make us feel like we have less, or we're not good enough, or we're short enough, or we don't have a good smell, or whatever the story is. So no matter how much we have, we want more, and that's the whole society is based on that. And through my experience of coming to America as a refugee, building 3 successful businesses with just $100 debt-free, making so much money, I wasn't happy, and so I donated most of my stuff to homeless people, and I went homeless myself. And I came to a conclusion, which is, what is the most important thing for me in life? Is it getting more rentals? Is it getting more businesses, making more money? You know, no matter where I am, I need to be happy. And so the first point that I want you to take away from this, what I've learned and reconfirms, is that make sure you're doing stuff that you love when it comes with your people. If it's your kids, if your family, if it's your cousins, if it's your neighbors, your best friend, whatever it is, make sure you're spending time with people you love, because you know the future is only a possibility. It's not guaranteed. Okay. And number 2 of that is do what you love, is make sure you're doing work that you love. For example, when I gave up all my stuff and I went homeless, I only had enough capital for me to live modestly, very, very modestly, the rest of my life. And then I ended up having a family of 4, and that was very tough because I didn't have a job, I didn't have a business, and you know, trying to make ends meet. And we decided to spend all of our time with our kids, so I didn't want the mom to work. So you know, it was tough, and I could have went back to owning a moving company, because I started a moving company with $100, made multiple millions, had multiple locations. And even though I wasn't happy, you know, I could go back and do that, right? Or I could start a real estate brokerage firm, which I had and owned and was successful, and do that, right? But I wasn't happy at that, so why would I go back to do that, right? Just because I need money? So that didn't make sense to me. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, not only should you do stuff with people you love, but you also like spend time with people you love a lot. At the same time, you got to make sure you're doing stuff you love, whatever that is in life. You know, for me, it's not working at a job for someone else. For me, it's not just starting a business where I can make a lot of money. For me, because I know so many businesses that I've done in the past that I can start and make a lot of money, but just because I'm trying to struggle and make it for my family, I'm not gonna go do something that's not gonna make me happy, right? I have to learn to sacrifice to be my dreams versus just do anything. Because just because I say sacrifice, that should not have a negative connotation to it. Shouldn't have a bitter taste to it, a salty taste to it. It should have a really sweet taste to it, because with our society, debt, right? They made debt seem like the most sweetest thing, which is literally means being owed to the banker. Okay, that's what the mortgage means, to death. Okay, now those are 2 things that I've learned. The other thing that I want to share with you that I learned, which is the point number 2, is that money is fake, right? They're printing this thing out, you know, and I should say currency, because money is like gold and silver, which is hard to get, or Bitcoin, right? But they're printing this out with a printing machine. So many of us are trading our life energy. Life energy. Please listen to that. And you're never going to get this life energy back. So if you're buying a new car, you're buying this, you're buying this, you're buying this, remember, you're trading your life energy, right? To obtain this fake paper to consume, right? And if that's what you want to do, great. You can do that. This is America. That's what makes it great. And that's why we came here, right? But I've discovered that, material things are fake. Money is fake. And I'm sharing with you through the experience of being at the hospital, and my dad fainting at the store, because he wasn't getting oxygen to his brain, and cracking his head at the size of a grapefruit and almost dying for the multiple times now, this time because of his heart problem. And so then I realized that money is fake too, guys. Okay, someone is printing it. It's called central bankers. If you don't want to believe me, please Google it. It's the petrodollar. That's why we're seeing massive losses in our buying power. Okay, now let me tell you the third thing that I think is going to help you with your life is you got to be grateful, guys. You got to be grateful for what you have, because this is one of the problems that I had, and that every day, in my old life, I would have significant success. I worked out all the time. I had money. I had multiple businesses. I had multiple locations for my moving company, from Dallas, Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, you name it. So I was making very, very good money for an immigrant, from a refugee, debt-free company. Okay, and I wasn't really grateful, right? I wanted more. The more I had, I wanted more. When I climbed top of the mountain, I would beat my chest. I would feel good that I had to knock down all these people to get up to the top, right? But that only lasted temporarily, sweet. It was like a fake sugar, right? It's like a sugar made in a test tube, which gives you this bitter taste, but it's sweet. But somehow it destroys your body because your cells cannot digest that sugar because it's made in test tube. Same thing with not being grateful, guys. Okay, so be grateful where you are. And this is what I told my wife, when we're going through struggles, when I had given everything up and had to start all over with a family of 4, both of us not having jobs or businesses, and working in our dreams, is, man, we got to be grateful. If we're sleeping on the ground without a mattress, we got to be grateful. If we're living in a tent, we got to be grateful. If we have a house, we got to be grateful. If we have running water, we got to be grateful. Because if we can't be grateful where we stand, and when the riches come to us, we're still not going to be grateful and happy. So we have to be happy, because happiness comes from the internal chemistry of our brains versus the external. Now, we can have external stimulus that trigger that chemistry inside our brains. Like, for example, when I bought myself my dream car, SL 550, spent over $100K to buy it. And, after a while, that stimulus didn't make me happy anymore, right? Or when I got a new apartment, a rental house, or rental income, or I got another subject to deal, it would make me happy. So those are external stimuluses that made me have this chemistry in my brain to make me what I call happy or joy. It was temporarily. Where what I'm talking about now is to be grateful, and which causes happiness wherever you are. If you only got one pair of shoes, like the way I roll, right? Or if you only got 4 pairs of clothes, you see me in the same exact clothes every day, then I got to be extremely happy that I have these clothes, that they're good quality clothes, that it doesn't take me a long time to wash them, it doesn't take me a long time to dry them, it doesn't take me a long time to fold them, it doesn't take a lot of space. See, I have to change my mindset, instead of focusing on the lacks or what I'm missing versus what I really have. And so those are the 3 points I want you guys to take home: is to be grateful, right? Do what you love, right? And that comes in with the people you love, and be your dreams instead of having a job. That's at least I can't tell you that because I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, right, I always live like this, and that's why sometimes I've been lucky enough to hit my dreams, right? And number 3 is to realize that money is fake. They're printing it out, and you're exchanging your life energy, which is a serious matter, guys. For my family, your family, I have much love for you. If you can't hit the like button, I believe in you. You're powerful. You're kind. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're fast. You're a giver. Don't take no for an answer, guys.